reminded him of insects feeding on the cavity of a dead body. At the distant end of the mine, poised at the very lip of the pit itself, stood the town of Granger, the new town of Granger. 30 years earlier, Great North had moved the entire community, buildings and all, a mile south in order to take the ore from beneath the original town site. Just outside Granger stood the immense structures of the taconite plant, where the rock was crushed and processed into iron pellets for shipping. Clouds of steam billowed upward hundreds of feet, huge white pillars holding up the gray overcast of the sky. Although he'd viewed the mine and the work that went on deep inside many times, the sight never ceased to amaze and sadden him. The Ojibwe part of his thinking couldn't help but look on the enterprise as a great injury delivered to Grandmother Earth. "Cork, good, you're here." Cork turned as Max Kavanaugh closed the door. Kavanaugh was tall and agreeable, a man who easily caught a lady's eye. In his early 40s, he was younger than Cork by a decade. He was almost the last of the Kavanaughs, a family whose name had been associated with mining since 1887, when Richard Frankton Kavanaugh, a railroad man from St. Paul, had founded the Great North Mining Company and had sunk one of the first shafts in Minnesota's Great Iron Range. Cork saw Max Kavanaugh at Mass every Sunday, and in winter they both played basketball for St. Agnes Catholic Church. The team was officially called the St. Agnes Saints, but all the players referred to themselves as the Old Martyrs, so they knew each other pretty well. Kavanaugh was normally a guy with an easy smile, but not today. Today his face was troubled, and with good reason. One of his holdings, the Vermilion mine, was at the center of a controversy that threatened at any moment to break into violence. The two men shook hands. "Where are the others?" Cork asked. "They're already headed to Vermilion 1. I wanted to talk to you alone first. Have a seat?" Cork took a chair at the conference table, and Kavanaugh took another. "Do you find missing people, Cork?" The question caught him by surprise. Cork had been expecting some discussion about Vermilion 1. But it was also a question with some sting to it, because the most important missing person case he'd ever handled had been the disappearance of his own wife, and that had ended tragically. "On occasion, I've been hired to do just that," he replied cautiously. "Can you find someone for me?" "I could try. Who is it?" The window at Kavanaugh's back framed his face, which seemed as gray as the sky above the mine that morning. "My sister." Lauren Kavanaugh, well known in Tamarack County for her unflagging efforts to bring artistic enlightenment to the North Country. 2 years earlier, she'd founded the Northern Lights Center for the Arts, an artist retreat in Aurora that had, in a very short time, acquired a national reputation. "I thought I read in the Sentinel that Lauren was in Chicago," Cork said. "She might be. I don't know. Or she might be in New York or San Francisco or Paris. I'm not sure I understand." "Is what I tell you confidential?" "I consider it so, Max." Kavanaugh folded his hands atop his reflection in the shiny tabletop. "My sister does this sometimes, just takes off. But she's always kept in touch with me, let me know where she's gone." "Not this time." "Not a word." "Nothing before she left?" "No, but that's not unusual. When she gets it into her head to go, she's gone, just like that." "What about Chicago?" He shook his head. "A smokescreen. I put that story out there." "Is her car gone?" "Yes." "When did you last hear from her?"